Hello, friends. It's your buddy Phil here, project management trainer and coach. Thank you so much for joining me this afternoon. We had some little problems with, first of all, Windows 10 decided, I'm going to update myself without my permission, and it just started updating, and there was nothing I could do about that. And then, after coming online, now discover that the stream signal was hopeless. So, unfortunately, I'm not doing this live like I normally do for brunch time. So I'm just going to be taking people's questions as they came in, okay? So let's take a look at the questions that we've got for today. So first question is from Frederick, and the question is, I would like to start with CAP-M and then build a project management career. What do you advise? Well, Frederick, right off the bat, I'll say that's a great idea to start with CAP-M, because I always tell people, first of all, get the knowledge and then begin to apply the knowledge, and then begin to get more and more experience as you're applying the knowledge, and then build on that to get other certifications like the Prince 2 or the PMP. If you're in the UK or other parts of the world where Prince 2 is big, you could go for Prince 2 Foundations, not bad. But since you want to go for CAP-M, I would say go for it. Um, Definitely want to read your book, PMBOK Guide, your Friendly Neighborhood PMBOK Guide. Make sure you read that so that you don't just go through reams of paper, but you actually understand what is being said. A lot of people go to boot camps, but they don't really study the PMBOK Guide. I want to encourage you, be a student of the standard. And as you're a student of the standard, everything around it begins to make more sense. Then you can build on it. All right. So the CAP-M, going for CAP-M is great. Read the guide, begin to apply it. I would say begin to learn different tools that help you in project management. That is one way young project managers or new project managers coming into the world of project management can excel if they learn a tool. Because guess what? The PMs, a lot of times, they're not ready to learn a tool, or they're fed up of playing with the tool like MS Project and so on. So they could bring someone like you on to help the project manager, and in so helping the PM, you're going to be learning a lot of tips and tricks. So I would suggest that, okay? Go for CAP-M. As you're studying CAP-M, keep hitting the PMBOK Guide, learn a tool. MS Project would be one I would strongly advise because it's used in a lot of firms. And then you can begin to look at other tools like Smartsheets and other things that are used company-wide. Okay, so after you've acquired your CAP-M and you're able to apply these tools, I expect that you should find yourself a good placement. I look at it as a placement, not like a full-blown job, because it's a vehicle that you're going to try to get to somewhere with. Sometimes you might be fortunate enough to find your perfect place where you can grow and develop, but other times it's not the case. So I would say look for a place you can begin to apply this knowledge. You can begin to cut your teeth on this stuff, working with a project manager, learning from a project manager while you have your CAP-M. And before you know it, you're getting the tricks of the trade. You're able to do what the PM would do, especially when the PM suddenly is absent. You're able to fill in, you're able to hold meetings, host meetings, drive conversation, drive progress, so on and so forth. All right, so that's what I would suggest. So to build your career, having the knowledge and then building upon what you have using a tool like MS Project or Smartsheets, it will help you bring a lot of the chapters to life. Okay, I would say develop a work breakdown structure, build a schedule, do the technicalities of project management at least. You know, budgets, use Excel, get familiar and comfortable with different software tools, and that will give you an inroads to companies that are looking for someone to help the PMs. And you wouldn't believe how many companies across the world are always looking for people to help the PM. Okay, so that would be my 2 cents. Go for CAP-M and then build on it. It's a great idea. Very good. The next question here came in from Max Nelson, and Max says, can you provide me with the brain dump so I can start studying for the PMP? So Max, if you go to YouTube and you type in brain dump or PMP brain dump like a boss, it'll probably come up with one of my videos, how to do a brain dump, PMP brain dump like a boss. Go through that and see if you can mimic what you have there, copying out the formulas. But when you talk about the actual PMP exam and studying for it, you don't need a brain dump to do that. you need, of course, I can refer you to a few pages. Page 25 in the PMBOK guide, that's definitely a good one for you to start with, because it has the 5 process groups, 10 knowledge areas, 49 processes. And then from there, I would say begin to one by one look at the different images for each process. So figure 4-2 on page 75, that would be one. And then figure 4-3 on page 76 would be another one. And then you go to the next process. And same thing, page 82, figure 4-4 and figure 4-5. You see, if you cover those things in that fashion, you find out that it's beginning to stick more, and you can create your own little brain dump, if you will. Okay? I would also say come on board, Praizion, Praizion.com. If you really mean business in getting this monkey off your back, that would be my suggestion. Come on board, Praizion.com, and sign up for our training, our coaching, whatever it is. In fact, if you look at this link right here, you see that? Praizion.com. If you go to Praizion.com and look for the 35-hour course, I think that will put you on a right trajectory for success. So whether it's taking the CAPM or taking the PMP, this course right here is the real deal. It's definitely going to help you, okay? So visit there, take a look. It starts at $125. It's not that expensive, especially for the value you're going to get. All right, next chat came in from Kay. Kay, thank you very much. Kay said, thank you, Phil. You live and breathe PMP, and so kind of you to help and inspire others from Ireland. Thank you, Kay. I appreciate you writing in. Had another chat here from Abdullah. Abdullah says, how can I start a career in project management? So this is very similar to the first question. You need the knowledge first. Go for CAPM. As you're going for CAPM, you're making sure you're reading this. The CAPM is based entirely on this. So you want to read this. You want to get into your head. You want to understand what exactly is happening in a pragmatic sense so that you can apply it, so you can be practical, okay? And then after you've begun to apply this, throw in some tools, learn the tools, and then you begin to help the PM out. You begin to create complex reports, complicated stuff that no one else wants to touch. You've got the database down, you've got the PMIS down, the project management information system. You know the whole spectrum of what the PM does, and you're able to deliver when he or she isn't there. Of course you're making yourself more valuable. So you got to get the knowledge, earn your keep, demonstrate proficiency in these software tools and your aptitude to learn and apply stuff, and before you know it, you're laughing all the way to the bank, just like me. All right? I talk about how I got PMP certified, and then after that I got my salary on a trajectory 300% up, almost less than a year, pretty much less than a year after I got certified. I think it was within a couple of months or so, the salary went up 2.5, and then it finally went up, another 0.5% about a year later. So this stuff works, Apply yourself, study the information. Before you know it, you're going to be a boss in this stuff. All right. Next question is from Paige. Paige says, what's the difference between PERT and GERT? And do you need to know either for the exam? Great question. So PERT stands for Program, Evaluation, and Review Technique. And this was developed by the Navy, and it's a way for estimating duration or cost. And you've got two formulas here. You've got the formula for the beta distribution, which is known as PERT, and the one for the triangular distribution, which is pretty much a straight ahead weighted average. Okay, so you got pessimistic plus optimistic plus most likely divided by 3. That is known as the triangular distribution formula. But the PERT formula is a weighted average with the most likely estimate weighted more. So that's P plus 4M plus O divided by 6 versus P plus O plus M divided by 3 in the case of the triangular. So the triangular is a straight average. The beta is a weighted average. So that distinguishes the beta from the triangular, and the formula is known as PERT. Now the reason why people often get it mixed up is because PERT is very closely used in the critical path method. So as a result of that, people think the critical path method is called PERT, but it's not. The real formula for PERT is P plus 4M plus O divided by 6. Okay? And there's also the one for 3-point, like I said, or triangular. Now, GERT, on the other hand, stands for Graphical Evaluation and Review Technique, GERT. And GERT is a network diagram method that allows for looping between activities. So imagine you do uncheck and there's a loop. GERT captures that loop, whereas PDM, Precedence Diagramming Method, or ADM would not do that. The only method that allows for looping is GERT. Okay? And then you said, and do you need to know either for the exam? Yeah, you better know both. If I were you, I would know the formula for PERT and know how to apply, and basically know what GERT is. No one's going to give you a network diagram with, well, I hope they don't, with a big old arrow going back into where something was coming from, you know. But if they did, you would know it's GERT, because GERT is the only method that allows for looping, going back like that, going back into a process or so. All right. Ishit Kumar. Ishit, thank you for writing in. Ishit said in the chat, Phil, thanks. I saw you every day live on YouTube for the past 10 days. With just that extra help, I was able to clear the PMP on the 25th. Woohoo! Fantastic, Ishit. Ishit says, I'm obliged and humbled by your pedagogy. Huge fan and great thanks. Thank you very much for writing in. I appreciate you. And like I said, as I was trying to say before the stream went haywire, send us an email to support@praizion.com, Ishit. We would like to send you something in congrats for your success, and thank you for writing in. Let's see, do I have any other questions here? Shri joined the session, so a shout out to you, Shri. Thank you for joining. Dennis, thank you for writing in as well. I hope you see this when we post it. Let me know if you do. Appreciate you joining, and I'm sorry that we weren't able to do this live. Ishit then says, I studied for 1 month, 2 hours a day, and then last 7 days I did grind it all for 12 to 15 hours a day, mind maps, and stuffed all of it in one place with notes, and gave some simple mocks. Wow, that is a real serious regimented approach. 12 to 15 hours a day, hardcore. So I doff my hat to you, Ishit. That is just phenomenal. Well done. For those of you who are looking for boot camps to help you as you prepare, I just wanted you to know we've got a boot camp tomorrow. Tomorrow we've got a 6-hour boot camp, and if you go to the website, not Praizion.com, but if you go to pmsucceed.com and you look in the menu option, you'll find the 6-hour boot camp. You want to sign up for that, and you want to come tomorrow so that we can study together and get you in ship shape for the exam, okay? Once again, I apologize for the streaming issues today, and I hope we can do this again, obviously with different questions. But next week, I look forward to seeing you guys, and I look forward to hearing more successes on the PMP exam. Okay, thank you very much, and I'll see you next week. Bye for now.